So happy Thursday in the City Hall of Fitchburg. I want to specifically thank the mayor for hosting us for this great event to celebrate organ donation and celebrate Valentine's Day. This heart means that you want to give love, that you care for other people. And in this regards, we encourage people to get their heart when they go to the RMV, when they renew their driver's license, ID, or now real ID, which is coming up. So this represents the idea that you are a registered organ donor, and we greatly appreciate that. My name is Matt Boger. I represent the federally designated OPO, Organ Procurement Organization, New England Donor Services. We have the responsibility for educating the general public and identifying organ transplants and actually making sure those transplants happen to help save the over 108,000 individuals in the United States today waiting for a life-saving organ. In New England, that's over 6,000 people waiting for that life-saving call. We encourage everyone to consider registering as an organ and tissue donor when you go to the RMV and or online at registerme.org. We're here today with the wonderful leaders of this great community and individuals personally touched by organ donation to share their story and make sure that people realize that that heart means that you care, and that caring means that you could be a registered donor. So please sign up. I'm so pleased to be here with one of our fantastic volunteers who is taking just a bit of time outside of his wonderful teaching job to share his personal story. Dan, thank you so much for being here and sharing. Okay.
So, thank you for having me. I was born with cystic fibrosis, but I didn't find out I had it till I was 17, at which point I had already lost 50% of my lung capacity. And so when I was 37, in December 2017, I made the decision to go forward with lung transplant because life had just gotten too hard. I couldn't go up and down stairs. I was on oxygen 24/7. I couldn't fly on an airplane. Life was just too difficult. So at that point, my lung capacity was about 20%. And so I signed up and went through the process for lung transplant. And I received my lung transplant in May 31st, 2018, and it saved my life because now I'm the healthiest I've ever been. I can do all sorts of things, like I went skiing locally at Wachusett for the first time in 12 years. I never thought I'd be able to ski again. I always take the stairs now, and I'm in the best shape of my life, and I can exercise and go to the gym all the time, which I couldn't do before. And so, organ donation, it was really a miracle and saved my life.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Dan. Skiing at Wachusett's fantastic. It's a great community mountain. I want to make sure people realize that organ donation is very, very, very rare. It does not happen frequently. Only 3% of all deaths happen in a manner where one can become an organ donor. So these wonderful gifts that people give is not something that's common. So we really embrace the opportunity to have people register. You're actually more likely to need a transplant than to become an organ donor. It does not happen often. I also want to thank the wonderful Massachusetts Department of Public Health for the wonderful work they do to help support organ and tissue donation. Here's some examples of statewide campaigns that they provided. One of the messaging is, you are never too old to register as an organ donor. People in their 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and even 90s, we encourage you to register as an organ donor. This is not a healthcare decision. This is saying, if there was an opportunity for me to donate, I would want to help save someone else's life. Now, as said, the state plays an important role, and that's why I'm so glad we have individuals from the elected offices here. The RMV and or the DMV in all 50 states play a significant role in this process of presenting it to the general public. 98% of all people in Massachusetts, and actually also in New England, register at the RMV. When you go in to get your license or ID every 5 years, this is the opportunity to do so. I'm so pleased to have the manager of the wonderful Leominster branch, which I say you should go to every day, but the RMV wants you to make an appointment. But the staff there is wonderfully pleasant, and so thank you so much for being here and saying a few words. Appreciate it.
Hi, so my name is Wendy Randall. I'm the Service Center Manager for the Leominster Registry of Motor Vehicles, and I am just so excited that we get to partner with the Organ Donation Program. And I just urge each and every one of you to do your research, and it is so simple to notate that you want to be an organ donor when you come into the registry or you go online. You can do that through doing any type of licensing transaction, whether you're getting a new license, an identification transaction, you're renewing. You also have the option to change your mind down the road if you want. So if you pick that donation and down the road you decide to change your mind, you're able to do that. It's very quick, it is very easy, and I just urge each and every one of you to take the time to make that decision when you are doing a transaction with the Registry of Motor Vehicle. As we've heard, this saves many, many lives, and it is such a great, great program. So I just urge you to do your research and to make that decision when you're doing a transaction. Thank you.
As I said, that heart on your license, and again, I pull this out today because in 3 days, it's going to be Valentine's Day. That's why we're celebrating the heart and making that connection to registering as an organ donor. With this heart, I feel like I am a member of a caring club of individuals. Hundreds of millions of people in the United States are registered organ donors, saying that if there was an opportunity for me to help save a life, like Dan's, that I could do that. So I want to thank people to do that, and for those individuals who may have not planned for their Valentine's Day, simply pull out your license, say, honey, I love you, here's a heart. Again, the state plays an important role, and the RMV does a fantastic job. I'm so pleased to have the elected state representative here to talk about the support for organ donation, and appreciate you being here. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, everyone. Great to be here in the city of Fitchburg, and want to thank our representatives from the Registry of Motor Vehicles, New England Donor Services, as well as Dan and this touching story that he gave, an inspiring story about how being an organ donor has personally impacted him and his family. I also want to thank Mayor DiNatale and Susan Templeton from Senator Cronin's office, who was with us today. I think, like all too many, like we just heard, most people don't think about being an organ donor until it personally touches or affects a loved one in their life. I've been personally affected. My uncle was saved by an organ donor 20 years ago, and today has continued to live a happy, healthy, and prosperous life because someone engaged in the generous act of registering as an organ donor. And so I urge each and every one of you to join me as well in ensuring that there is a red heart at the bottom of their license, making sure that they are as generous and think of their loved ones and their community and give back. So I encourage each and every one of you, and I urge you, really, to become an organ donor. And it is my honor, on behalf of Senator Cronin, who unfortunately could not be here today, he is in formal session, and the Massachusetts House of Representatives. We have several citations. I'll present one from Senator Cronin's office here this morning. There's a Commonwealth of Massachusetts State Senate official citation. Be it known that the Massachusetts Senate hereby extends congratulations to the Registry of Motor Vehicles and New England Donor Services in recognition of countless lives saved and improved through organ donation. And be it further known that the Massachusetts Senate extends its best wishes for continued success, that this citation be duly signed by the President of the Senate and attested to, and a copy thereof transmitted by the Clerk of the Senate, signed by President of the Senate Karen E. Spilka, and offered by State Senator John Cronin, this date on February 14th, 2021. And there are citations from both the Massachusetts House of Representatives, signed by Speaker of the House, Robert Mariano, and myself, as well as Senator Cronin and Karen Spilka, Senator of the President. Thank you, everyone, again for being here, and thank you to New England Donor Services and Massachusetts RMV.
Representative, thank you so much. And as you mentioned, there are so many people in every community that are personally touched by organ donation. Some who are grateful enough to share their story, Dan, thank you, and some who don't want to talk about it. But I want to thank all the individuals in Fitchburg who've been personally touched for A, registering, and B, the lives that have been saved, because I know that there are many. So it is extremely touching. I do want to mention that organ donation is a voluntary choice. You can say yes, or you don't have to register. That being said, it is not a neutral choice. Both the state and federal government strongly supports organ donation and puts that question on a document that's seen by literally almost everyone in the state, and that's when you get your license or ID. This is something that is supported. This is something that is safe. This is something that is the definition of humanity. Registering as an organ donor can truly help save an individual's life. Mayor, thank you once again for helping to celebrate Valentine's Day. My assumption is you've already gotten your Valentine's Day gift for your lovely spouse, but if you have not, consider talking about organ donation and showing her one of these. You might be sleeping on the couch, but hey, it's a good mention. Having events like this to share stories, to bring people together, to talk about things that people may not talk about is so important. So thank you so much for you sponsoring this, or for you hosting this, and for us to be able to have this, and again, indoors where it's a tad warmer than outdoors. Mayor, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Matt, thank you. Have you seen anybody with more energy than this guy? You've done this before, right? Just a couple of times. And Dan, wow, how special is organ donation in your life? I mean, it just changed everything for you, and God bless you. I'm going to be providing a proclamation from the city of Fitchburg, and I'll read it. It's replete with whereases. It's a proclamation to New England Donor Services. Whereas there are more than 108,000 Americans with more than 6,000 in New England who are currently waiting for a life-saving organ transplant, and whereas there are over 1 million life-enhancing tissue transplants each year that are made possible by the generous donation of corneas, bone, skin, or other tissue, and whereas we can all help to save someone's life and benefit up to 50 recipients by signing up to become an organ and tissue donor by enrolling in the Massachusetts Donor Registry when we apply for or renew our driver's licenses, or by registering online. And whereas Massachusetts is home to the pioneering efforts of many of the world's first organ transplant surgeons, it is fitting that Massachusetts continue its unique leadership role and join in the national goal of signing up 50% of our driving population to become donors, and is dedicated to making it fast and easy to sign up to save a life through our Registry of Motor Vehicles. And whereas, we're coming to an end here. Whereas this observance pays tribute to organ and tissue donors and their families whose decision to donate life enables others to receive life-saving organs and tissues for transplant. Now, therefore, I, Stephen L. DiNatale, Mayor, do hereby proclaim February 14th, 2021 to be Valentine's Day and Organ Donor Day, and encourage all to get the heart and register as an organ donor, and urge all of the citizens of Fitchburg to take cognizance of this event and participate fittingly in its observance, given this 11th day of February 2021, and signed by you, Mayor Stephen L. DiNatale. Thank you, everyone.
Mayor, lastly, I have a gift for everyone, which is chocolate. You're supposed to shop locally, so these were bought here in Fitchburg. Everyone gets some chocolate here,
Great.
but here's something for you, a heart
Thank
for you.
you.
Thank you so much for doing
Thank
this, and I know that we're flying the flag here at
Yes,
Fitchburg
we're gonna be
City
putting it
Hall.
up now. Yep.
Really do
Yep.
appreciate
That's
that,
great.
sir.
Well,
Want to
thank
thank
you.
everyone for being here. If you don't mind, just because I brought my prop, if we could do one more picture with my balloons, and then take a picture outside, then everyone's welcome to do their busy work. But Mayor, thank you again.
Thanks,
Really appreciate
Matt.
this.
Thank you.